Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual, you. Today, I would like to speak about your inner being and feelings and perspective and perception of the world is your responsibility and health, really. For being able to inwardly go and balance out and come to a certain contentment and acceptance and inner calm and inner joy is for us to have to be conscious about it. We become aware of our own inner being, how we feel, how we maneuver, how we are capable of changing and over time be capable of cleaning and clearing out of the inner clutter we might have collected over the many years that has passed us by in the end. And the inner calmness is for us to be able to truly see what we do have within ourselves, within our thinking, within our feeling, and also our will, of course, only indirectly though, for we do not work directly upon our will until we have fully mastered our thinking and feeling, or else you wouldn't know where to go with it. So it is about truly coming to a certain mastery so that we know how we indirectly guide our will towards what is healthy, what is loving, what is nurturing, truthful, and beautiful in the end. So it is a matter of practice. It is a matter of daily reminding, daily coming back to, daily centering, grounding at the same time. For when using imagination and painting this wonderful spiritual picture behind the physical world requires us to truly be connected to the physical world and not ending up separating from it and become abstract fantasy. It truly is about holding oneself to reality and at the same time being creative and imaginative. For imagination is the higher faculty of our thinking. It is free, mobile, alive, moving thinking, picture forming, picture shaping, allowing picture to show us certain truths and underlying realities that otherwise cannot be explained in pure physical means. And that is what our imagination are used for. Of course, it is used to many other things, many joyous things like arts and so on, but to come into one's own inner creativity, alive thinking, mobile thinking, as Rudolf Steiner uses a perfect example, there is such a thing as a universal triangle. You have three different types of triangles, and these triangles can be perceived almost instantaneously in between each other by having our thoughts mobile. It can change from shape to shape. That is what our thoughts are capable of, but it requires us to truly come into these alive types of thinking. For our thinking affects our emotions, and our emotions do affect our will to a high degree. So the more we come into our own inner being and being able to work with what we do have our strengths, we do have our weaknesses, and every single one of us should be grateful for the differences. I personally do not choose friends based on confirming for myself who I am. I choose friends based on differences and interests and faculties that are different from my own, strengths that are different from my own. That means they can have my back where I am weak. It is all about trust and a certain connectivity here. And it is all about the dignity and honor and love that comes with having relations in general. For if one cannot hold oneself to these types of inner values, one has nothing to work for, nothing to live for. Once we do find these values and start working within them, making them autonomous, alive, and feeling within us, the more we are working towards the future, working towards what we are capable of becoming. more alive, aware, awake within our physical being, letting our physical being be the vessel of a higher force, a higher spiritual soul force that we are when we embody ourselves, and also participating in the world at the same time. It is a balance. So the inner love and compassion that comes with this calmness is directed outward to others so that we can share these things and also be examples and do as best as we can in the times that are moving forward these days. You know, it is about having something to live for, having something to be content with, but also knowing that we are capable of becoming even more ennobled, even more purified, and to not let ourselves be taken by utter pessimism and constant defeatist mentalities. For that is, you're giving in to certain forces that way. But by holding oneself strong to the values despite whatever the outer world shows you, you still hold to a certain dignity, to a certain love and compassion for the world and hope, faith, love, hope. These three higher faculties, once you hold those within your heart, soul, and spirit, is when you hold yourself stable and consistent within every day, every week, every month. And every single day shows you different aspects of yourself and the world all the time. But we need to pay attention. For if we do not pay attention, we might miss certain inner messages that the higher worlds wish to tell us. The direction we might lean into that they deem advantageous and healing for us. For they know far better than we do what we need for our healing, because they see things in a much, much more whole and at the same time divine way. They do not judge us in the way we judge ourselves. We judge others based on what we have been taught and how we are being influenced by others to do so. But by coming to oneself's own inner strength, you do not listen to, pressures and peers and such just because everyone is doing it. It becomes, why should you? You are not everyone, and everyone is different. Everyone is in themselves a personality that should be polished and defined and, accepted. For the more you try to be something you're not, the more you will start to see the illnesses starting to come in because we are not truthful to ourselves that way. Health comes from honesty, love, compassion. That is where it truly stems from. And health is from our soul. Our soul it makes a lot of physical effects based on our inner disposition. The more we come into an acceptance, love, compassion, and gratitude is where we truly start to see where the health is coming from. For the discrepancies comes in our opinions and self-serving, egotistic views of the world that is not in the closest to reality, because we are generalizing, putting things into groups and such where it is not truly reality. Once you take a good look, you really see that this is by no means what we truly are experiencing in the world, but we do make ourselves these pictures, So it is about being able to observe objectively and perceiving what is happening and not seeing what we wish to happen. It's about this objective at the same time subjective state of being. For remember, your subjective being is happening in objective space, so it is an objective happening. We need to remember that. So the more we come to this responsibility feeling, the more you are capable of balancing and coming back to this center, this groundedness. And that is what I wish to leave you with today. May you be protected, guided, blessed, and loved by Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of all, ancestors from every incarnation, and may you be provided for with all that you need to survive, live, thrive, being creative, inspirational, and healing to the world, so others can choose to follow when the time is right. Love you so much. See you. Goodbye.